Hello students, welcome all of you in online lecture series of Internet of Things subject, in which we will study what are the data types used in C language. Today is our 8th lecture on IoT subject. My name is Pooja Subhashrao Deshmukh from International Center of Excellence in Engineering and Management College, Aurangabad. Today we are going to discuss what are the C data types, in which C primary data types, then size of different data types, size of different data types in which C data types value range, what happens if the value is out of range, and what does signed and unsigned means. Now we will see in detail. First point is C data type. As you can see in figure, there are 5 data types, which is basic, derived, enumeration, bool type and void. As the name suggests, the data type defined as the type of data is being used, means what type of data we are using in the C language programming. Whenever we define a variable, or you can use any data in C language program, we have to specify or the type of data so that compiler knows what type of data to expect. For example, you may want to use a number like 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 100, yeah, anything else, or in a decimal point number like 1.2, 1.3, 1.5 something. And if you are using text like hello, YouTube, lecture, in this manner, then all these values are handled differently by the C language compiler. So we use data types to define the type of data which is used in any program. This means the data type. Then what are the types? C data type is broadly categorized in between 5 different categories. As I told you, first one is basic, second one is derived, third one is enumeration, fourth one is bool type and fifth one is void. In basic data type, there are examples. In basic there is character, integer, floating point and double. These examples we used in basic data type. Then in derived data type, there is array, structure, union, etc. Then in enumeration means enums means numbers. This is the separate topic actually. We will study in one by one. Then one bool type. Bool type means true or false data. Then void means empty value. Void means nothing. Then we will see next one, that is C primary data types. What are the primary data types we used in C? As you can see, there is differentiate between character, integer, float, double and void. So we will see what is the function of each data type. There are 5 basic or primitive types, as I told you. First one is character. Character means what? ASCII character sets, or generally a single alphabet like A, B, C, D, capital या small. Then what is mean by integer? Integer means used to store whole number, like any number we can use here. This is called integer, means 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 100, up to 1000, etc. The next one is floating point. Floating point means what? Decimal point or real number values like 1.2, 1.3, 1.5, 10.5, something like this. This is we define in floating point. The next one is double data type. Double data type means what? Very large numeric values which are allowed in this integer or floating data point. The next one is void data type. This means no value. This data type is mostly used when we define functions. Void is a meaning of void is empty. That means nothing or no data we can store in this data type. That's why it is called void, and this means no value. The next one is, what is the size of different data types? In which the size of different data types, which is depend on the compiler and processor types. In short, it depends on the computer or which you are running in the C language and Java language and etc. This is the version of C compiler that you have used or that you have installed in your computer. Actually, size is depend on totally what type of language or what type of compiler you used in your PC. Then first one is character. Character size is 1 byte. The character data type is 1 byte in size or 8 bits. This is mostly the same and is not affected by the processor or compiler used. The next one is integer. Integer means int. It can be 2 bytes or 4 bytes. Also, there is a very easy way to remember the size of integer data type. The size of integer data type is usually equal to the word length of the execution environment in the program. In simple words, let's take an example. For a 16-bit environment, integer is 16 bits or 2 bytes, and for 32-bit is 32 bits or 4 bytes. The next one is float type. In float data type is 4 bytes or 32 bits in size. Suppose it is a single precision data type that is used to hold the decimal values, means 1.2, 1.7, 10.2, 10 something. This type of values are stored in float type. It is used for storing large values also. Like float is a faster data type as compared to the double, because the double data type works with very large values, hence the speed is low. The next one is double data type. Double data type is 8 bytes or 64 bits in size. Then it can store values that are double the size of what a float data type can store. It doubles the value of float data type we can store. Hence, it is called as double. In this, 64 bits is a 1 bit is for sign representation, then 11 bits for the exponent, and rest of the 52 bits are used for the mantissa. So first of all, we have to know that what is exponent and what is mantissa. Suppose we are taking an example 0.11 into 10 to the power 5. This is the example in which 0.11 is the mantissa and the power of 10 raised to something. This is our exponent. Then next point is the double data type can hold approximately 15 to 17 digits before the decimal and after the decimals. Means what? We can write the value which having the digits before 15 or before 17 and after 15 and after 17 digits. The next one is void type. Void is a 0 byte, because void means nothing. The void data type means nothing, hence it doesn't have a size. Before moving on to the range of the values of these data types, there is one more important concept we have to learn, which is data type modifiers. So the next point is our data type modifiers. In C language, there are 4 data type modifiers that are used to along with the basic data types to categorize them further. For example, if you say there is a playground, then other person will know that there is a playground, but you can be more specific and say that there is a cricket playground or a football playground, which makes it even more clear for the other person. Similarly, there are modifiers in the C language to make the primary data types more specific. Now, 4 data type modifiers, that is signed, unsigned, long and short. As the name suggests, signed and unsigned data types are modifiers are used to represent the sign. Sign means what? Plus and minus, and unsigned means only plus values for the data type. And long and short means what? Long and short affect the range of the value for any data type. For example, signed integer, unsigned integer, short integer, long integer, etc. all the valid data types in C language. The next one is the C data types in value range. What are the value range for the C data types? Suppose you are using character data type and the size of this is 8 bit, then the range for this is minus 127 to plus 127, and the percentage of the format, if you are printing a character, then printf character, then you can use print C for printing the value in character format. The next one is unsigned integer. Unsigned integer if you are using, then the size of this bit is 8 bit. Then the minimum range is 0 to 255. Every unsigned character data type having the range from always 0, that means 0 to something, but initially start from the 0, and the format specifier is %C, means if you have to print unsigned character, you have to use %C. The next one is signed character. The size of signed character is 8 bit, then the range for this bit is minus 127 to plus 127, and you have to use the format specifier for that is %C. Then integer type. Integer type may be 16 bit or 32 bit. Then the range for this is minus 32,767 to plus 32,767. And if you have to print integer type, then you have to use the format specifier, that is %D or %I. Then unsigned integer is size in bits, that is 16 or 32 bit. Then the range for this is 0 to 65,535, and format specifier for unsigned integer is %U. Then for signed integer, the bit size in bits is 16 or 32. Then same as integer, like minus 32,767 to positive 32,767, and the format specifier is %D and %I. The next one is short integer. For short integer in 16 bits, there is the range for minus 32 to 32,767, same as the integer, and the format specifier for this is %HD. Then next one is unsigned short integer, and the size for this is 16 bit, and the range is starting from 0 to 65,535, same as the unsigned integer. Then the format specifier for this is %HU. The next one is signed short integer, and the size for this is 16 bits, same as short integer, and the format specifier for this is %HD. The next one is long integer, which is size in 32 bits, and the minimal range for this is -2 147 483 647 to plus -2 plus, and the format specifier for this is %ID and %LI. The next one is the long integer, which is 64 bits in size. Then the range for this is -2 raised to 63 minus 1 to 2 raised to 63 plus 1, that means -2 plus range, which is added by the C99 standards. And the format specifier for this is %LLD and %LLI. The next one is signed long integer, that is in 32 bits in size, same as the long integer, that is %LD and %LI. The next one is unsigned long integer, which is in 32 bits in size, obviously starting from the 0, that means 0 to 4 to 294, 967 and 295, and the %LU is the format specifier. Then unsigned long integer means what? 64 bit in size, and the range for this is 2 raised to 64 minus 1, which is added by the C99 standards, and the format specifier for this is %LLU. Next one is float type, which is in 32 bit in size, and the range for this is 1E to 37, 1E minus 37 to plus 1E plus 37 with 6 digit of precision, and the format specifier for this is %F. The next type is double. For double, 64 bits in size, and the range is 1E minus 37 to 1E plus 37 with 10 digits of precision. Then the format specifier for this is %LF. Next and last type is long double, which is 80 bits in size, and the minimal range for this is +1E minus 37 to +1E plus 37 with 10 digits of precision, and the format specifier for this is %LF. This is all about the combinations of data types and modifiers of the range value changes. When we want to print a value for any variable with any data type, you have to use format specifier in the printf statement. The next point is what happens if the value is out of range. We have studied what are the ranges for the data types, but suppose any value is out of range, then what we have to do? We will see. If you are tried to assign a value to any data type which is more than allowed range of the value, then what? C language compiler give an error. Here is a simple code. We will take a simple example. First of all, hash include stdio.h, then integer main, open brace, allowed value up to 65,535, but what we are printing, that unsigned short integer x is equals to, we are printing 65,536, means 1 plus value we are printing. then return 0 close brace. If you are run this program, then what you have to shown there? Warning is large integer implicity truncated to unsigned type. Means what? Unsigned short integer x is equals to 65,536. Means what? This code does not run. When a type of modifier is used without any data type, then the integer data type is set as the default data type. So unsigned means unsigned integer, signed means signed integer, and long means long integer, and short means short integer. Then our next topic is, what does signed and unsigned means? Actually this is a little tricky to explain, but let's try. In simple words, unsigned modifier means all positive values, and signed modifier means both positive as well as negative values. When the compiler gets a numeric value, it converts that a value into binary number. Means suppose we are giving a 2, that means what? Compiler convert it into 0 and 1's format. Then for example 32767 is a binary number. We are giving this number, and the binary is 0111111 something, and 1 is binary is 01. One's binary is 01 or 0001, or 2's binary is 0010, and so on. In this case, the signed integer is the highest order bit or the first digit from left, that is in binary, is used as the sign flag. In this case, once again I repeat it, in this case a signed integer, the highest order bit for the first digit from left side is in binary. This is used as the sign flag. If sign flag is 0, then the number is positive, and if it is 1, means sign flag is 1, then the number is negative. And because of one bit is used for showing number is positive or negative, there is one less bit to represent the number itself. Hence the range is less. Once again I explain this. If the sign flag is 0, number is positive. If the sign flag is 1, the number is negative. And because one bit is used for showing if the number is positive or negative, hence there is one less bit to represent the number itself. Therefore the range is less. And for signed integer, 111111 something means minus 32,767. And because the first bit is a sign flag, to mark it as a negative number, and rest represent the number. Whereas in this case of unsigned integer means 65,535. So this is all about C data types. I hope everyone should understand what are the data types in C. If anyone have query in this, you can contact me anytime. Thank you very much.